Hi, everybody. We are live, and Allison won't be joining us this evening. Just really quick. She had to get her flu shot today and stuff, and we all know what that can do to us. We get really sleepy. We can get kind of worn out, tired. She's a bus driver, so she's got those kids that she's driving around all day. She's like, "Girl, I'm just going to rest in bed and watch y'all." So, hi, Allison. Get your rest, sweetheart. And so I have Hershe, the Shadow Reader, here
Hello,
with
hello.
us tonight. And we can see that Stephen, Cosmic Orphan, this is, Stephen is so much fun. That's ready, nice psychics, and he's talking about rocking the joint. And so he goes, "Are you ready to rock this live?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So yeah,
Mhm.
he's very upbeat. He's very, hi Isadora. Thanks for being
Hello,
here.
hello, hello.
Allison's taking some me time tonight. So me sending her all big love and hugs and stuff. So it'll take a few minutes for people to stop popping in to start popping in. Oh God, it's one of those days.
Whew.
And anybody watching back on playback, Hershey and I are going to be talking about a really interesting topic that we were discussing in the backstage about some stuff that we've both been kind of going through today, and how we got talking about how not everything is all light and fluffy, and I think that's one of the things too that kind of got and this is just my opinion only, is what kind of got Doreen Virtue in a little bit of hot water. And why she might have done that 360 was because for all those years she did the magic and the ritual, and then everything was all light and fluffy unicorns and pretty fairies and everything. And I think something happened and scared the hell out of her, because not everything is all light and fluffy. Hello, Odelia. Hello, Thomas. Good to see you. Jessica Lynn is here. Hello, Fatima. Um, and Dina is here. Hello,
Hello,
that's Shaw
hello.
Woman.
Hello,
Um,
hello.
oh my goodness, it's been one hell of a week. I hope everybody's doing well. Things have been kind of up and down. Not too bad this week for me, except for today. But
Mm.
let's see, how do we want to start? So, everybody, this is Hershey. I know many of you know who she is, Hershey the Shadow Reader. And what I was telling Hershey backstage is that I really love how she is a part of our community because she is very unique and different in the fact. And then, like I said immediately, and this is a good thing, um, is that I love how she brings the shadow into um, our um, our circle and into our knowledge, into our periphery.
Mhm.
Because while it's very, because we were talking about that, this is like not a diss or anything on how other readers or mediums within the YouTube community, whether our own or on the outside, because we are all very different paths, different beliefs. I was telling Hershey backstage, because I guess maybe I'll just kind of try to do this a little. So everybody knows that where I live, we've been trying to find a way to get out of here, trying to find a new apartment. People know about the guy in the building who's threatened to shoot us. People have seen and known pictures that I've taken of how dirty the halls and stuff get here, because we are a subsidized housing or income based. The constant banging, the screaming, the fighting, the police that come here. It's just too much. And so the other was it earlier this week, and then it happened today. I was sitting on my bed reading one of my books, and lo and behold, what runs across my book? A goddamn bed bug. Sorry, Fatima. I know you're still Catholic, honey, but I just had to throw the God in there. I'm sorry. Um, and um, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I wasn't surprised, but I'm like, "Really? Are you kidding me?" Because when we first moved in here, we had to call them, and it took them about 4 or 5 months to get rid of cockroaches that someone was getting into the building. And then, of course, then we started having problems with plumbing, leaking. I mean, this place has just been one thing after the other. And so I grabbed my lease, I read it, and no, we did not bring it in when we moved in. No, we were up, but I wanted to see where it said, what do we do when we spot one? And so I did what I was supposed to do. It said, the lease said to call the property manager. So I did. Well, I emailed her. And so I hear back from her 2 hours later. And she says, well, she goes, nobody in your building has bed bugs. So it was you who brought them in. They hijacked into onto your clothes and you brought them into your apartment. It is your responsibility. End of story. And she was basically, read the lease. Okay. First of all, how does she know that there aren't any people in the building that have it that they're not reporting to her? And
Mm-hmm.
people know from what I've described, people will drop food in the hallway and they will leave it there. There has been blood that's dried that will sit in the hallway until the person they bring in once a month to clean the building will clean up. So there have been cigarettes in the hallway, butts in the hallway. People smoke all types of stuff through the hallways when it's supposed to stay in their apartment. There's food that gets thrown out in the lawn. I mean, this place is a freaking dump.
Mm.
And they know this, but they don't care. But it's me that she knows for sure that I'm the one that brought them in. Shan and I have been here for a year and a half. We did not bring these in. This was not us bringing them into the apartment. We've been here for a year and a half. It's just, and so
That's horrible.
after a good hour or so of just absolutely bawling my eyes out, crying, yelling, looking at my guide saying, what is going on? Dad, help me. Grandma, help me. Angels, help me. Why am is and I like I tell people when I do my lives, it's okay to have these emotions. You sit with them, you go through them. It's a part of being human. And so I just kept crying and crying, crying until I could not cry anymore. I got it out and I was like, okay, got my shit together, called a friend of mine, well, texted an old friend of mine. She used to be a landlord. She used to have a couple of buildings. And I asked her, I need help. Who can I call? And she says, let me make a few phone calls. And so about an hour later, she says, I have, and her English is broken because she's from Ukraine. She lives in America, but she's from Ukraine. And she goes, I have a friend who will come by Monday or Tuesday. Be there. And he will help you. I said, was he going to cost? And she goes, not much. She goes, maybe for a little bit of supplies, but it wouldn't be like, because I had no idea how much this. I have, just so much on my card, and so hopefully things will all work out. But just the way people like this property management can get away with treating people like us, it's just it's unbelievable. And I'm sorry I haven't been saying hi to people. It's just it's been a very strange week. Yes, it's been interesting. Boy, yeah, Thomas, yeah. Dina, oh no, yeah. So, Kim, hello, Kim. Thanks for being here, honey. Hello, Lady Silver. Um, so, I was talking to Hershe and saying, we're told to ask our guides for help. We are told if we need help to ask our angels and then they can help us. I said, I don't know what's going on. I just felt like I was at my wits' end today, And Dina, this is what we were talking about too with Sylvia and Zelita last night. Was that when we have these moments, we can cry, we can get angry, we got to release it, but we have to, we need to move forward. So I was grateful that I was able to think clearly and give Tamara a call, and she's going to be able to have her friend help me out. So there's that hope, and I'm very grateful for that. But what I was saying to Hershe is like, why is it I thought we were supposed to be able to ask our angels and our guides, and they would help us. And Hershey had something very interesting to share with me, and I'll open the floor to you. I don't know if you want to talk about first what you've been going through. You know, I typically let my guests go first, so I apologize for not letting you go first, but it just was
Oh
kind of
no, it's
like
fine.
they kind of like segue into each other. So
Right. No, it's absolutely fine. And
acknowledge, move through,
to
release it. Yeah.
respond to what I said to you backstage was Miles reminded me of I asked that same question when I died and I was talking to higher beings and their response to me was that's human shit and we don't get involved. I didn't understand how to take it. It hurt my feelings. I was offended because I always heard just ask Bill this, Bill this, Bill this. And then the first thing out of their mouth is that's human shit. We don't get involved. The second time I died, I instantly understood what he was saying. There's not enough of us doing the right thing, balanced and in the light of day, so to speak. There's more negative, there's more nasty, and that's outweighing the faith, the beyond belief. And because of that, they won't and don't have time for the human shit. It was at that point I realized that cursing was not a bad thing and humor was also no longer a bad thing because they they don't laugh at us, but they absolutely look at us like they need humanities. And that was like the biggest red light to me. Like I completely understand that. And that's a lot of my message is about balance and humanities. Like stop doing that. You're feeding it. You're allowing it. So yeah, if it has anything to do with self-will and you're allowing it to happen or there's personal gain, they will not and cannot get involved with that. Or at least that's how I understood it.
Steven said, "Shit, I love to laugh and cuss."
Absolutely.
And so does Dina.
Absolutely.
If anyone's ever cut one of Dina's videos, yeah, if
Absolutely.
you really feel like you're upset, you want to release something, jump onto one of Dina's lives or one of her videos, and you can just cuss along with her. Sometimes I've done that a couple times. You
It's
know, it's
just
like, okay, I
primal
feel good
release is
after
all
that.
just I know. I've been live a couple of times this week. Everybody knows. My godmom had surgery on Halloween. She had a very um uh, major evasive surgery, and so we've just been kind of on mom duty since she got home and making sure that we're together. So it's a lot of people, it's a lot of chaos, it's a lot of fun. You know how it gets with family, so it's been a lot,
Mm,
but I'm making it through it. So
yeah. And even right
woosah,
now, I hear
breathing,
voices
and
yelling out
coffee
there.
are my friend. That's how I'm
Coffee,
getting through it.
coffee,
Yeah,
sip, sip,
coffee.
everybody. Um, And yeah, even as I'm talking now, I might have to get up and close the window because people here, they love to yell. They love to have everyone hear their conversations. And sometimes it's been getting a little ugly at night with the door baiting. So if I suddenly go and then you see me mute and stop cam, that's what, I'm doing. So,
Well, you
oh,
guys have
and
to
Dina
excuse
said
the
purse for your
background noise.
mom.
I do have to hear in case like they're like, Hershey come now. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
she had her spine fused together, so she's not
Yeah.
dancing yet, but we're getting her there.
So Hershey and I had decided that we'll probably be talking about this because a lot of us are going through shit right now, and it's a Friday night, and YouTube, this is for entertainment purposes only, and it is marked as an 18 or older video. So for me, I don't really think any of my readers want me to really be tapping into their questions and their energies, but Hershey and I said we would like do a collective at the end to just kind of raise it. Got to go bounce. Have a great weekend. You too, Lady Silver. Bye bye. Um, bring them all in for coffee and give them bib. Oh no, no, they know they're not going to come in here. And what really got me too was the fact that Mary knows who I am, and she goes, "What unit are you in?" And I'm looking at my email and going, fucking well what unit I'm in. And I said, I'm 16. And she says, yeah, there's over 26, I think, 25 or 26 apartments in my building alone. You mean to tell me she knows that exactly the other 25? This is just them trying to, and I can't stand people like that, and Hershey and I were kind of talking because there are readers in our community that like to focus on um, the light and staying in the positivity. And but sometimes we just got to keep it real, people. We have to make sure that we don't get to that level of spiritual, what they call spiritual bypassing or egotism, where if you only focus more on the light, you
Mm-hmm.
know just deal with the dark when you can't, or the shadow when you need. I don't know, I just feel like sometimes we're almost guilt tripped by a spirituality or a belief within. And I'm just not saying our inner, I mean, this goes for the whole of YouTube, but there are some that really like to stay focused on the light. And I understand that and I totally respect that. Um, but what we also need to realize is that there is another side. And I have been, in spiritual, especially since Sedona. One of the things that had turned me off about, when I was learning Reiki, I was sharing this with Bella the other day while we were talking, is that when I was in Sedona and learning Reiki and everything, everyone was all like, yeah, you stay positive, you keep in that light, good things will come to you, you will visualize, you will manifest. You start, going into those negative emotions or things and stuff, then you gotta bring yourself, and it got to the point where when stuff really started to happen that was out of my control, and when I would try to go to these people after I had left Arizona, they were all like, well, you must be doing something wrong then. You're not being positive enough. You're dwelling too much in the negative.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like I was abandoned. And so, it's been so long for me to try to get back into, when people, say I'm a healer, I kind of cringed a little bit, because it's like that was what I wanted to do, but because of my experiences with the people that I had, not necessarily the teachers kind of perpetuated that too a little bit. But if you look at things, you want people, if you want people to keep coming to you, you want to make sure that everything is always, yeah. Um, so for me, getting real and seeing things as they really happen, especially the last 6 months or so, or the beginning of this year,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, there's there's got to be a I know, I was telling Bella, and I won't hold up, you know keep from having Hershey share, but just
Oh no.
that, there is, I know, because for one of the things too was is that Reiki traditional, or what is taught, is that there's these symbols and you have to have somebody attune you, and you can't do this unless you have somebody attune you, because only they know the symbols. And it's just, and then if you would, like I was saying, I don't connect to the symbols. I rarely ever connect to any symbols. Very rare that I do. There was one in Reiki with the Chokurei that I've always loved, because I'm into music and I love the spiral. And to that, it seems like a very beautiful spiral energetic note for me. So I could relate to that. And so I was told, well, you must not be working hard enough or trying hard enough to have a connection or make a bond. And so
Wow.
it was me, and it's just like, and then there's other Reiki modalities where they said, well, the symbols really aren't necessary. This was just a form, a lot of it can be energy, but it's just like, I'm so like done with, I don't want to say I'm done with, but I find that I sit back more now and I listen and I try to see how I feel about when people say, well, You pay me money. I know how to do attunements that will open you up to be able to do this. But yet, at the same time, when I first started learning Reiki, I was told that you can start doing it immediately. So, what's the attune? So, I don't know, maybe my knowledge of attunements need to be developed more. But from just my personal experience and perspective right now, I think you can be a powerful healer without, because what I mean, back in the day when all of our ancestors, and this is of course too ancestor and the perfect time to be talking about things like this, our ancestors, they didn't have like Reiki classes, and they automatically were born or they knew how to harness and work with healing energy.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't require an attunement unless it was like maybe like a shaman or a medicine man or woman, maybe a druid, however far back we are going, because they're finding now through Göbekli Tepe and even older sites that human civilization has been here for a lot longer than, modern archaeology is, saying. And so
Absolutely.
it almost, I have to be very careful because I don't want to this to feel like I am fronting or affronting any of my fellow readers who do the Reiki and that they do the attunements. I'm not saying that they're not important, but I'm just saying that I kind of question, or where I'm at in my spirituality in my path right now, I question certain things. And I think we all should question where we are, our beliefs are from year to year to see what still resonates with us and, you
Mm-hmm.
know, what no longer does, because it shows that we are growing, that we are not stagnating. Sometimes
Right.
we might go back to an old belief because the new one that we want to explore wasn't quite what we thought it would be, but we still learn from it. So, and I'm going to be quiet now and I'm going to let her. Because if I keep going, I am going to go on a tangent. And hello, Serena, Scorpio Mama. Good to see you. I see you popped in. Reiki is what old timers used to call laying of the hands. And yes, and when I told somebody once before, Stephen, this was about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a little more, that I did Reiki and how and explained how it was either you lay the hand on the body to feel the energy or you hold it above. Lady looked at me, grabbed my hand, said, "Nobody lays hands but Jesus."
Mm-hmm.
So I really miss that part of Sedona, Arizona, Flagstaff, where I was, because it was more open. Here, certain areas, it's just still so closed down. I feel like stifled, like suffocated here, like the energy suffocates. Oh, and speaking of hello, Bella, I was talking about you a little while ago, but only good, I promise. And hello,
Hello,
Kia.
hello, 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 hello. I can't tell you a damn thing about Reiki. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I've never worked with it. It's never been on my spectrum. I have I have felt better after people say that they've sent it or done it. I'm assuming it was part of their blessings. I'm not sure that that it was a solo thing. I don't know because I don't know how it works. I'm intimidated by it, but I do a lot of crystal healing and I do a lot of sound healing. So
I want to get
I
into
like the
something.
pressure. I like that it came from somewhere dark and it was covered in dirt before somebody actually saw its value or its glitter and shine. That they believed in it enough to clean it up and buff it up and shine it up and see what's looking like. And
Like a crystal.
absolutely, like I call everybody my little hidden gems because they don't realize
Oh,
what they are so capable of. If I'm being honest, I get frustrated with people, Heather. I get so frustrated with people, and I swear I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I have hope enough for everybody, and I do mean my cup never runs out. Um, After dying and coming back and
yeah, my God.
realizing how petty I was my entire life over materialistic objects, emotions that I was allowing control me, thoughts,
Hmm.
endless negative. None of it mattered a bit. None. It was gone. I didn't have to worry about it anymore. I didn't think about it. It didn't cross my mind. I had something better to do. It didn't matter what it was, but I knew I wasn't doing that. I wasn't allowing that because there was so much peace on the other side where that human wasn't at. And I'm not saying
Mhm.
that to be cold hearted. I'm not saying that to be indifferent.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is coming back. Sometimes it's like, whoa, I don't want to not be here, but what I don't want to do is have to stay in this negative. So that's why I stay away from people. That's why I don't bother nobody. I I literally I am the mere definition of a hermit. I am the only Gemini I know that cannot stand to be around people. like
Yeah.
I I just can't. I can't because I can't
I've
take the
always
number.
been a people person, but now
I
it's
just can't take
just
it. Hello, 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 everybody. I just can't,
yes.
so I try to keep my circle this big, and
Mhm.
I only allow those in that are absolutely willing to understand that, there's two sides to every coin, no matter what it is. So it really shuns people away because I don't care if they think I'm negative. I don't care if they think I'm a bitch. I don't care what they think of me. They got nothing to do with my bills and they got nothing to do with my happiness. So it's real
Mhm.
easy for me to just literally roll that away and not let it affect me.
Mhm.
I mean, there's earth and human things going on that I have no control over, but what can I do? Allow it to rent space in my head? Nah, because I worked on me
Mhm.
too hard to let that happen again. So, life sucks. When I say life is just, I don't say it lighthearted. I'm like, ooh, this is that shit that I don't have no control over.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that
But
I'm
life can be
feeling it.
beautiful, though.
Just means that I'm feeling it on levels where I'm like, I'm not dealing with it. That's what I'm saying I'm not feeling. I'm not going to allow it to take me out of my comfort zone, put me in a box, and then I'm bouncing off of four walls and a ceiling that's covered in negative. And now I'm infested with negative and I look like I'm sprinkled with it like it's a case of sugar. And I'm like, no, uh-uh, I don't have time for it. So,
Yeah, you would be amazed at the energy I bet that you would feel if you ever came to visit
oh, I'm
and be in this area.
feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Oh, you're feeling it. No, I mean not in the building, but just I mean this
No,
place
I just mean
is such a
period.
sacred,
Like,
beautiful.
the
Yeah.
White House is is above me at this moment. There's that much pressure right now, so I definitely understand what you mean.
Um,
Definitely understand.
really quick, I start something that Thomas asked. Anointing water or oil, can they be enhanced by placing a crystal in the container prior to prayers, incantations, and intentions? Yes, but you have to be careful because there are certain stones that you cannot put into liquid because it will dissolve.
Yep,
Oh,
everything
somebody
she just said. Yep, yep, everything she just said. Be
selenite. You do
absolutely
not
very,
want
very, very, very
selenite
careful.
because it's a gypsum, and you have to be careful of malachite because malachite, especially in its raw form, you don't want to be breathing it in. I mean, you can handle it. I have a beautiful piece somewhere, but after I handle it and I look at it, I always make sure I wash my hands. So certain crystals have a toxicity to humans as well, and malachite's one of them that I can pull off the top of my head. Um, there are certain you can anoint them lightly, but not to soak them into the water. If you want to also cleanse a crystal, you can put them on a selenite piece of plate,
You can bury them
or
in the
a.
earth.
I have a amethyst. Um, yeah, I can't think tonight with everything, but I have this, and I can place some of my smaller crystals. Let's say, I was really using my pendulum tonight, and I want a little bit of a cleanse. I could always set my pendulum, on something like this. That's an amethyst, a quartz, a selenite, um, like like Hershey said, putting it in soil into the earth if you can, even running it through water. Crystals that are safe for water. I love using, spring water too. And you can even, I mean, there's so many things that you can do. I mean, that would be a whole episode. And Thomas, if you want to join me on my channel, on my Crystal Visions channel, we can talk about that exactly. So email me if you would be interested. That would be a great show. And let's see, Miss Carol G. By the way, did Hershey say bitch or witch? Because I'm a bitch and I haven't seen her at the meetings.
I'm the one that pays the rent at the meeting hall, so you ain't got to worry about
Yes.
it. I'm there in spirit every time.
And thank you, Bella. Cinnabar. Yes. Not a lot of people work with Cinnabar, but just be aware as when you go and you handle Cinnabar. Um, let's see. Leah wanted to know what state you are in, Darlin. No, Hershey, what state are you in? Oh, in Darlin. Okay. I was like, what? We're in Missouri.
Currently, at the moment, I'm in Missouri.
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 It's rubbing off on me, Missouri.
Yeah. Moon water too. For putting your crystals in the full moon. Even
Oh
if the
yeah, I
full
use
now
moon water. I use lily water and moon water. Yeah.
I love Florida water too. That's got a little bit of a it's an alcohol base, but it's I really like. Sometimes I'll put a drop of that in my water, bath
Illinois.
water for cleansing. But with when it comes to full moons, now if someone's got clouds and you can't see the moonlight coming through, that energy is still going to be there, whether you can see it or not. And
We need to
that's
do a
when you
meet and
can learn
greet.
how to, huh?
So we doing a meet and greet.
Oh,
I'm,
okay.
I'm bouncing off the walls.
Oh, so
I'm like,
Leah's
this
in
is literally the
Illinois.
most sane I've had it since yesterday.
I know that's why I was like, do I really want to do the live tonight with all the stuff that all the shit that happened to me today? And I'm like, yes, because I want to go to bed, being able to talk a lot of this, share this with my friends, because I consider a lot of my chatters my friends, my readers my friends. They can hold, they can hold space, and this is what's beautiful. Is there are a lot of times when, as a reader, I can hold space for them, and I know that the moment I need to have space held, you know, they're there for me too. And Bella is Cinnabar, what they sell at the malls with that delish frosting.
This girl D though.
I know. Stand up.
Really? Yep. That's exactly
Cinna-
where you get
Why
it
did
at.
you thinking about
Yep.
Cinnabons? Cinnabons.
That's exactly what you gonna get.
And Leah's like, Miss Terrell D, stop, and she's laughing. And Leah, my grandmother, this lady right here, my grandma Johnson, she is from Illinois. Her parents and stuff were from Quebec, but she lived in Illinois for a while, and that's where she met my grandpa. So I
Well, I
have
have
Illinois
family all over the
connections.
place. I've got family all through Chicago. I'm a Flint, so
Oh,
I got
that's why.
family all through Chicago. And because I'm a Flint, a lot of people know the name, depending on what
Oh,
industry they're in. Because well, anyway, and none of that matters. But what I'm saying is, like I bounce all over the place. So like everybody asks me where I'm from, where I get my accent and all that, and I don't know. It's a mixture of everything.
it's your light language.
Yeah, well,
It could be.
sure.
We're gonna
What?
miss
Yeah, we're
every
gonna
little
go with
bit of
that one.
that. So Miss Tarot D said she's still high from her chemo treatment today. I didn't realize today was
Oh
a chemo
man,
day.
I
Oh,
fought
and Miss Tarot
cancer.
D,
I
I'm
know.
so
I know that.
sorry. I sent you that text message on Messenger of just like what everything I just shared here, plus some I shared with Miss Tarot D today, and I did not realize you had treatment today. So I'm sorry, my dear, but thank
I,
you for
I
being here.
I spend a lot of time in Chicago, so I'm sure a lot of that hawk is in my tone, my raspy
Sound like a G Town lady. Oh,
chai. Yeah,
Chinatown,
how about Chicago, Chi-town, Chi-town,
Chi
Chi,
Town.
Chi,
I know
Chi,
Pisces
Chi-town.
reader. She's here. She just popped in. I'm 40 minutes from Chitttown. Very violent now. Peeps are tripping, mostly kids. Yeah, it's going. It's
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
It's
yep,
like where are you safe anymore these days? But
yeah,
that's
nowhere,
being negative. But at the same
nowhere. I'm
time, it's
in,
very
I'm in the
true.
middle of Missouri right now, and I'm just like, in theory, I'm in the middle of the woods in the middle of Missouri, and it's just like this is the first piece I've had. Like I've got to wander out and get lost in the middle of the woods and be like,
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. Steven popped up. Cinnabuns is what I have. Dina's got some Cinnabons.
I couldn't help it. I was trying to
Cinnabons
corner
of
when you was
steel.
talking because Miss Terrell D own one, and I ain't
Oh,
mad.
those two go back
Man,
and
it's
forth.
lifting
I
me
love
up.
those
I ain't
two.
mad about it. I need it.
Yeah, I'll have what she's having.
I'm telling you.
Um, so let's see. Brandon Johnson is our new mayor, and we have a new police chief who don't play. Oh, that's good. I wish they would come to my town and take care of some stuff here because it's just, no.
Yeah,
Watch out for
sometimes it
Momo.
just takes somebody with a little bit more bully in them to make a bully be still. So
Shaw Woman
doesn't
asks
make you a bully,
Springfield.
but sometimes you got to bully the bully.
Yeah. And
Hey, I get it.
Dina asked if you're from the Springfield area.
No, I've actually never been there. I want to hunt there so bad. Well, no, like ghost hunt.
Oh, Ghost Investigate. Okay. I was like,
there's
you're gonna
several
have a hunt.
places I want to go hunt there in Springfield, but I can't ever seem to get anybody to go with me.
I'd go
Um,
with you if I could.
well, hey, come on, let's roll. I'm ready. Like I hunt all
Road
the
trip.
time. Like I'll hunt tonight just to get away because there's 10 acres. So I will just take my spirit box and go outside and I'll just sit out there and I'll unplug and disconnect me and just listen, with nature, with my spirit box and just be in peace. But I have to wait until I get everything here still. And then I can
Mm-hmm.
take advantage of getting lost somewhere in that 10 acres and just enjoying it.
So I have a question. Oops, for you. Pisces Greeter popped in, and so did Amanda. Twisted Sushi. Hello, my dear.
Hello.
And this is just something. Yeah, that's what Dina says. Watch out for the Momo. So I think that's is that big. That's not Bigfoot, is it?
Well, I don't
Greeter
know,
Mary.
but I fully
Oh,
believe in cryptids. I work with a lot of
see, Shaw
cryptids,
Woman. What
so
is a Momo? A
yeah,
Momo or a Moo? I don't have a Moo yet, but I'm starting to want one. And I'm used to when I was young. I'm never gonna wear one of those. But
I'm starting to want one too. I'm not. I'm like I'm 48, and I'm like I think I want my first one. How do I get it? Do I get measured? Do I get sized?
or nowadays, like
Is it
everything
like
is,
a
everything's
warranty? You know.
one size fits all. Bullshit.
I'm sure ready for my first one. I think.
I call yes. So Momo is the Missouri version of Bigfoot, and I know
Oh, okay.
Momo is a similar
I've probably
cryptid in
worked
another
with them
country
several
too.
times and just never heard it by that. So yeah, probably. I am
So
definitely
let me
not worried
ask you
about it.
something.
Sure.
Now, I kind of, for a while there, I was always like, yeah, let's go ghost hunting, hunting, hunting. And then I thought to myself, is it proper to investigate? Is it proper to say that you're going to hunt something that used to be a living person? Like, okay, it's their spirit, you know what I mean? So for me, I always try to tend to go more ghost investigating because when lately I just become more I'm making myself more aware of the words I use nowadays because a lot of different words are being thrown around the internet and in social media that used to mean one thing is now totally something else. And so I've been paying attention. And one day when I said ghost hunting, I kind of felt like I had a funny energy in me. And I'm like, well, what is that? And I said, well, I'm using the word hunting. And I'm like, this person used to be alive and they're still kind of trapped on this planet, possibly. Do I want to use the word hunting? Because they're not an animal. I'm not going out to hunt to kill them or to hurt them. It was just something that, what do you feel?
Okay.
And no judgment. This is
Let
just
me
my
clarify what
personal.
I was saying. So, when I am investigating a property or somebody asks me to come in and help them to clarify what could possibly be in their house, then I am investigating everything that's going on with that property, right? When I say the word hunting, I'm actually hunting. I'm hunting dark objects. I'm hunting bad energy. I'm hunting negative sources, reversed windows, negative charged doors, and I'm neutralizing them. Like I said, what I do in the spiritual world, I'm more like Constantine or something, a demonologist. I'm a much heavier presence when I am connected and doing my spiritual work because I neutralize negativity in the spiritual world with places that have bad juju or curses, hexes. Just
Gotcha.
people going in there and doing badass shit that they know they shouldn't be doing, and they're opening shit and then they're leaving it
And they're
open. And
stupid.
it's
Yeah.
just creating those spirals that just never stop, they never end. So people like me have to come in, and yes, we have to hunt to find them. They're not easily found. There's no X on a damn map for us to hunt out. We're literally
Oops.
hunting them because they're kind of hunting us too. They know we're coming before we know we're even going half the time, and they're usually waiting on us, and they're scoping us while we're looking for them. So yes, when I
Yeah.
say hunt, I am hunting, but I'm hunting something negative.
Gotcha. Miss Terrell D says, "Thank you, Hershey. That makes more sense and adds clarity." And this is why I love our chatters.
Oh
Jeremy's
yeah,
right. The
no, sure.
best
I don't have a
chatters,
problem with
because
clearing it up.
I
But
love how
then
my chatters are respectful of all of our
right, no,
different and
absolutely. And in root
yes.
work, we'd use a lot of words that light workers are been misunderstood. Okay. I mean, we're just being honest. I'm just being honest.
Hey
A lot of
Sharon.
things are misunderstood that I use. I use heavier tools that most people are like, no, I'm scared of that. I would never do that. And I'm like, well, that's because you don't have to. It's not your tool for the trade. It's my tool for the
Mhm.
trade. I know what to do with it. I'm not scared of it.
Yeah.
Let me do it. So I would never go to somebody's Reiki class and say, well, I'm scared of that. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I realize that I am two-sided coin, whether somebody else does or not. That's on them. That's their cross to carry, not mine.
Mhm.
So, you know.
And Thomas brought up another good point too. Some souls were never human or don't have
Oh, well,
souls.
yeah, no, and that's when I'm hunting, that's the kind of stuff I'm hunting. If I'm hunting a dark object, now let me clarify this in case somebody doesn't understand. It's some form of a metal that's been used in a way that is no longer right. Metals are precious. And when people do negative things to them, they hold energy. Elementals that get connected to them dark objects then
Like
become
dolls.
cursed objects and bad things. And they have to be, for
Mhm.
one, separated, and then they have to be cleansed. And then, there's a whole process to it. So trust me when I say it's not pretty, but somebody has to do it, and I'm down to do it. So I'd rather do that than go play in the sun all day and not feel like
John
I've done
Zaffis used
anything.
to have a show where he would go and get haunted items from people and take it back to his museum, and where
Uh-huh.
he would
Yep, yep,
sometimes put
yep,
salt on them
yep.
or,
Oh yeah,
do
I
this or that.
everything that I remove from the the place is been well documented. The owners know, I will make sure that it's, properly taken care of. I've had people that have missed that connection of negativity reach out to me and be like, "Well, I want my stuff back." And I'm like, so you want this? You want this? Like, you want this? And they're like, yeah, I just want my property back. And I'm like, go ahead. And then 2 or 3 months later, I'll hear down the grapevine that they've had a horrible accident, or life is this and life is that. And I'm like, I tried to help. I mean, I can only do so much. If you're that attached to the negative, I am not the one for you, because I don't play well with negatives. So when I try to
Well,
remove it
we
and
don't play
people
that
put it
way.
back, it gets on my nerves. And I'm like, why did you call me?
Yeah. And Cosmic Orphan said Hershey's a spiritual demon slaying gunslinger from the land of light.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
I'll take it.
Now, now use that for your channel, so people say that my channel doesn't have a real
That's
long
as
name.
that's as good as the one where one of my lives I was like, well, it started in a swamp somewhere in Louisiana, and somebody was like, that's the best opening lines for your book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, actually, it's kind of good.
And I think Sherry H would agree with you too. Tarot your way, Thomas. Yeah, the dark is a root work and needs to be worked on. It's those things that hurt feelings and makes us cry.
Mhm.
Mm.
Absolutely.
And Cosmic Orphan, I would love to see one of your videos based on Hershe the Demon Spirit Slayer.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, that would be fun. Miss Tarot D, I like the way you're thinking.
I know I do
And I can hear
too.
that. And the people know
Do
Cosmic
it.
Orphan
Do it.
Raw. I could hear him just say, "Now, Miss Tarot D, I like the way they're thinking." Sorry, Stephen, it doesn't have that sexy drawl that you've got, but
Ooh, has he got a southern accent?
Oh yeah, go check out Cosmic Orphan's page. He's got a
literally, I
channel.
had his like 3 videos queued up for the watch now and all of that, and I got the phone call that this, and I'm like, okay, pause, like everything
Yeah, I
stopped,
can't keep up with them all.
everything
No,
stopped.
I get too far behind. And just so in case she didn't see that I waved, Miss Sharon Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot is here. Hello, my dear. Um, so wow, I have so when you had that first, well, the first and or the second near death that you had, because you had two, right? Did you find that
I
each one?
flatlined. My heart stopped. I died and came back. I didn't have near death, but
Oh,
once again,
so
I think
you,
it's just a matter of understanding and perception. I
because
know
some people's
to me,
abilities
they're two
come to
different
them
things.
after that. So did you always have those abilities, or did they open up to you once you were shown the other side for a little bit?
Um, I could always talk to ghosts. I've always been able to talk to ghosts my whole life. I always knew that there was something very heavy in me that was meant for good. I just didn't understand it. But oh, I'm like, what in the hell is that?
She's if people don't know, Hershey can easily hear her guides.
I
So if
was
she
about
starts
to say,
going and
which one of
talking,
you
she's
fools
actually
is
talking to one of
tapping?
her guides.
My bad. Anyway, coming back the first time was it was not unclear, but I wasn't as confident as I am when I came back the second time, and I just knew. I understood time differently. I understood a 24-hour period differently. I was having a hard time understanding how other people weren't seeing what I was now seeing. Like, how are you not
Hmm.
see? What do you mean you don't? And then
Wow.
it was Hershey, your testimony, and your testimony is mandatory. That's why you got to come back. That's why somebody gave some of their time for you to come back on borrowed time so that you could tell your story, but you just can't tell it in detail because people aren't going to understand what the concept of time is, what the concept of the fourth dimension is, what the concept of the fifth dimension is, the
Hmm.
13th, or anything that you have to say. They're not going to understand it. What was only 2 minutes and some change for me uh the first and second time was much longer on the other side because
Hmm.
there's a whole different everything going on over there. Like everything is different. So different levels, different layers. And until I get the green light, I can't go into a lot of detail, but it's way different. My whole everything is different. The way I see things, smell things, hear things, everything is different. Nothing will ever be the same.
Wow, that's very cool. Well, to me, well, cool as in because people like when they say, "Oh, I wish I could do that." It's like, watch what you wish for. Now, if you had the chance to go back and say, "Well, you can have this now, or you don't want it," what would you give it up if you could? Your ability, or do you feel like it's so much more a part of it, not part of you, but it's a part of you that you reconnected that?
Dying changed me completely. I don't ever want to be the person that died. I always want to be this person that woke up. I always want to take advantage of every single day. I want to be so humbly happy with the smallest pebble stone that almost took my tooth out. But I want to celebrate those moments because I took advantage of everything as a human that didn't understand. And now that I am a human who knows, I no longer take advantage of anything. And when it comes my way, good, bad, or indifferent, I immediately accept it, process it, or move through it because I can't have it behind me anymore. I
That's
understand.
wonderful.
I understand differently. I know I have to experience, so I can fight it all I want to, but there's something I need to get out of it. And the harder I make it on
Hmm.
me, that's human shit that I'm doing to myself. It's not them. It's not the other side. The other side is so easy. It's so easy.
If it's so easy, then why do you think there are so many spirits that are still trapped on this earth plane, especially if
Well,
they
that
were
that's
good?
because we're as humans and we do a lot of stupid shit and we have penance to pay before we earn those rights to go to different levels and layers.
Because I've seen a lot, I've heard people in our community and outside of the community that say, when we cross over, we become a different person. We're better. We're not the same person that we were in life. And I've just had no disrespect to that, but I've just had experiences, not just watching people's stories on TV about spirits and stuff that haunt their homes, but I had that experience myself where a person that, was alive on this earth was not a good person when they crossed over. They did not become a good person. They they stayed, what they were like in
Absolutely.
spirit and stayed here. So um, I don't know. It's just sometimes it's hard to understand or to know when, and I'm not, because I know a lot of people recently have lost loved ones. My friend Amanda just lost her husband. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago today. It
Mm.
was Friday the 13th. And where was I going with that? Oh,
You
so
were
that yes, he is in a better place and he probably is reconnected with loved ones and things, especially his mom. But then you hear the stories about people whose parents were not good in life, and once they crossed over, they still came back and mistreated their children or people. Even so, it's hard to, when you for me to ask about a message from a loved one or somebody on the other side, and I'm just like, well, are they still the same way? You know what I mean? It's
no, I totally
I
get it.
don't I don't know what makes some change, like, that some will do. They will see the error of their ways and they will understand, and they will try to apologize and help you from the other side. But then there are some that just stay that nasty self that they were in life and continue to wreak havoc on, or try to wreak havoc on, a person's life that, that they were supposed to love. It's really so
So
complicated.
they're actually telling me that I can somewhat address that. So now y'all know that I'm like a drill sergeant, so I don't always know the best words, and I hope to God I don't trigger anybody by saying this. But what I'm going to tell you is that there's a reason that psychologists and psychotherapists we analyze the criminal mind. That is a strong part of the human psyche brain that's always trying to think of a
Mm.
easy up, a come up, a hustle, this, that, and the other. Let me tell you, I come from a family of hustlers. This is not something new to me. What I understood when I got over there was everybody, everybody has a choice, no matter what. If you want to come back, you have to do certain things. Some people pre-signed, as they say, that paperwork that says you will experience this. Those pre-signed contracts, right? Some
Mm.
part of that is true, but let me tell you something. Sometimes we come back and we still have a fate that we must complete. Fate is not escapable. Destiny is changeable, but not your fate. And if you have a destined fate, it doesn't matter. If you have not completed it, you will stay in present mind, like you're locked in that state of mind until you complete your fated destiny.
Karma? No, is karma
That's
the same?
another
Because
way to
people
say
have
it. But
different.
fated destiny, somebody that's meant to kill somebody. I'm not saying this to scare people off, but if they're fated to do it, it's going to happen. People that are fated to be bad people are fated to do this. And some of them are hunted by fate creatures after they cross over, and they can come back, but they have to complete their fate contract. If not, then they could be trapped in
That's so
places worse
confusing
than limbo.
and disturbing. It's
I
confusing,
know that's why I'm
disturbing,
not
and
allowed to
fascinating.
go into a lot of details, but all
Yeah,
I can tell you is that
but
it's part
exists.
of fate and
Yeah,
destiny and fulfilling your soul
because
contract.
everybody says everything that happens here is a soul contract, and I don't believe in that.
I understand what you're saying. I didn't either. And it's not like you sat there and you signed something and put a drop of blood on it. It's not like
Yeah,
that. It's
no.
experiences that you need to have. You have to have these. For whatever reason, only somebody up there that's way above my pay grade would understand. I mean, I don't have a pay grade. I get paid $0.
Yeah.
There's no money
I mean,
involved.
especially like young kids, really young children that, get assaulted,
I know
get
it's
hurt.
that's
To me,
why I'm
that's
not
not a
allowed to
soul
tell my story
construct.
because the human mind's not ready to hear that. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you're fated to do something, it's going to happen. You can try to avoid it all you want. It's not going to happen. It will happen.
Hi, Jesri. Thanks for joining us. Because I sometimes feel like there are soul contracts, but then at the same time, we come down to do something and somebody else's actions can take
Oh, sure.
that out of
Absolutely.
our hands. So not everything is a soul contract. It's something that if somebody,
Well,
their
that's what I
free
was
will
saying. You have soul
interferes with
contracts
our,
and then you have fate and
yeah,
destiny, and they're not the same thing. They're
yeah.
not the same thing. Destiny is changeable, fate is not. And if you have fate that's on your ass, so to speak, whatever you're fated to do, it's going to happen. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Nothing. Nothing.
It's because there's a lot of stuff that's happened on in my side of the family, and it's just like that could not have been contractual. It just seems like that was something that just
Absolutely.
I know it's hard for human minds to wrap around, but at the same
Yes.
time when we're
Yes, it is.
told to, constantly that, whatever your idea of your godhead is, whatever your divine source is, it's all good, it's all love and light, but then at the same time it's like, but why was something, you know what I mean? It's
Uh-huh.
kind of
No.
like excuse my language, people on YouTube, but it's a bit of a mind fuck
It oh,
when you're when
oh,
you're
oh,
told, you know,
woo, yes it
God
is.
is all, whether it's God, goddess, great spirit, the all divine, the universe is always conspiring for you, but yet, okay, if that's the truth, then why are we having things that are happening, especially when it's young children and it's violent and other things that good things that happen to good people, bad things.
Yep.
And it's just
Absolutely.
like there's something not right there. I understand that we don't want to fall into this dark ravine of,
Yeah, no, it's all
everything's
and
all
it
dark
all
and
comes
out
back
to
to
get to
balance.
us.
Exactly. But
But
that's what it is. It's balance.
it makes no.
If you want to make it as bright as you can, there is something that's going to balance that out with as dark as this is bright. And that's unfortunately how everything on the other side works. There's nothing but balance on the other side. Doesn't matter. It don't matter. If it goes against balance, it's not happening. They won't allow it to happen. They won't allow
That's
it to happen.
why everybody says, "Will there ever be peace on earth?" It's possible. No, it can't be, because not that I'm
It
being
right. It
negative.
won't happen.
It's just
Exactly.
that, I wish I could be wrong. It would be nice for
You're not
everybody to
wrong.
get along and stuff and to have a peaceful. I mean, there were some peaceful, civilizations, at the beginning of time, but as our as I'll be nice and polite and say, since our certain star family or star people interfered with some of that, I think that helped bring about some of the not so nice traits that became a part of the human genetic code, DNA. And what interesting conversations, one keeps going into the other. But it just feels like, because one minute you do have a period where people are loving, they are supportive, it's spiritual, it's beautiful, but then there comes some point that aspect of greed, anger, war, that maybe for a better, yeah, better for a lack of term, whatever you could say that.
No,
That
I know
reptilian
exactly.
part of our brain, kicked in,
Hmm.
where automatically it was all, you know, just constantly, that. And I'm not going after saying the male side, but it's that warring side, because women did it too. Some of it's a little bit more prevalent, men, yes, but wherever some point we got manipulated, and that kind of gene kind of got, you know. So at my stage right now, I respect people who say they work with the Oh, even ET, I was told this. Some people say ET, alien, is offensive. Some prefer Star Family, but not all of them are our family. you know, not all of them are good. And I think that that's
Well,
another
I've
thing
only
too.
worked
Is
with a few, and the ones I did work with, they were insistent that they were called extraterrestrials.
they
That was it.
see some say, and then I've been told by another reader, you know, that ETs, aliens, that no, 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 they're Star Family, but not all of them are family. Not all of them are kind of light, and so
That's exactly, yep, yep. So I mean, like I listen to my team and I follow my higher power, and I don't listen to anybody else. I don't let
hi,
other
Michael.
people influence my decisions. I stand my firm beliefs, and I understand that people aren't going to get it, but I don't want them to get it the way I had to get it. I want them to get it in the way they're supposed to get it. But I wish a lot more people could see and know what's actually over there, and they would be so, my hope would be that it would be an almost like a, I got to be a better person. And I was a shitty person. I'm talking about myself. I was a horrible person. Horrible.
Oh,
Life itself made me not be very nice. So the fact that I got to come back and I get to talk
hey,
about
Tom.
what's over there and it's beautiful, but it's not living. So I can't explain that to you. It's beautiful, but it's not alive. But it's so peaceful and it's balance.
Yeah,
It's just that, and that's so okay with me, and it's so peaceful for me.
yeah. Cosmic Orphan said, I went to high school with a guy we called ET, but it stood for extra. Oh, Steven.
Extra testicle. Hi, Tom.
Yeah, Michael joined us. Tom here. This is Tom. This is, whoop. No, that's Terrell. You're,
No,
no,
that's Thomas. Tom is right above him.
it
Hello.
won't let me click on him. And this is Tom, Early Ritual. Tom also has a channel. And so does that, Tom. And yeah, so I'm making sure. Miss Terrell D says, I'm fine with being just a translator or a transmitter. Okay. And some people, believe too that we were created to be a slave race. And I think that's very possible. But, we're never going to really know until we get to the other side. And there's so that when I said, I'm just like,
They
that's
instantly
what
got
God's
on my
telling me.
head
I'm
because
saying
they
something.
know I. But I'm not gonna say or I'm not allowed to say. But
I'm sorry, Hershey's guides. I'm trying to be, just trying to keep it real and just keep it going. And
well, it's more like when somebody hits on something and I want to, they instantly are doing this, and I'm like, it's
got it.
like I know better, and I don't question it. So, but
Okay.
I can agree. I can agree with you. I can agree with what you said.
I don't even remember what I said. Like I said, menopause, and with what I've been going through today. Ay ay ay. Right now, my room is like strawn of lemongrass because of this stuff, and it's supposed to be safe for children and pets. So, yeah. But anyway, oh, too bad I can't spray that on the front door of the property management.
I know that's right.
remember,
My ass
remember the
probably
fifth
would be like,
element.
"Here you go. I want you to smell just like me."
Remember the fifth element with Ruby Rod? He would go. Zzz, zzz, zzz.
Well,
Get away from me!
I'm over here having moments in my head during this whole conversation of all these different movies and shit, like the Bruce Almighty when he says yes to all, and then
Everything.
all
Oh my
pandemonic
God!
hell
Yeah,
breaks out, and,
literally. Oh my God, that was a pun. Oh
and
jeez.
I'm over here going, y'all, there was a point to all of these movies. Like somebody that's
Yeah.
been over there was trying to do it in a way that y'all would get it.
The one thing
So let
about
me
God
share with you.
Almighty, or Bruce Almighty, excuse me, cool. It was based in Buffalo, but you know what? They didn't film anything in Buffalo, so everything you see is not Buffalo. And I was so
Damn.
unhappy, and I was just like, wait a minute, that's not what Channel 7 looks like. What? That's not what the city. I was just like, dang. Or the X-Files, since they filmed everything in Vancouver, they said Kenmore, New York. Nobody ever hears, who the hell on the movie, on the TV set heard of Kenmore, New York? And I'm like, and went, nope, that's not, but
Right.
I digress.
Right.
Zombie Gone Spray, keep zombies away. Oh boy, I just keep, like today I was like, I was in tears and I asked, my grandma and my papa, I said, please guys, I go, Daddy, help your daughter out, Grandma, help your girl out. I go, I'm not asking for a lot, just enough to just drop something so Shannon and I can just say, you know what? F this. Let's just, but I guess this is a lesson. And whatever it is in a past life, and some of it's not a lesson. Some of it's, this is what Dina was and I were talking with Sylvia and Zelita. Zelita was really cool to talk with, even though we couldn't see her because her video wasn't working. But we were having a discussion about women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, basically having like a midlife crisis of their own when it comes to relationships and finances and things that with our life. And Dina and I were just like, we go through a lot because people know I'm open about it. I have a mental health diagnosis. So I have PTSD, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have bipolar depressive. So I've got a little handful in borderline personality disorder. So I've got a lot on my plate that I work with on a daily basis. And Dina was like, well, I've been really anxious and I know exactly what it's like to have anxiety. And so for some people are like, well, just call. And then if they do this, then just, and it's good and all that to do, but for a person with this much or with this, type of trauma that they experience, simple things like that are a lot harder for us. And so in the conversation last night, Dina was saying that she's been doing a lot of just trying to watch videos and things of, positive affirmations. When we start having those rough moments, sit with it, feel it,
Yep.
release it, embrace it.
Yep.
Don't try to repress it. I, and what a lot of people don't know is for a while there, I was a self harmer for a couple of years. And it got to the point today where and I stood and I said, no, I'm going to stand in as much as in the place that I was like, no, I'm going to stand in my power. I am not going to let this, I can say here, I'm not going to let this bitch or this apartment complex or property management I'm not going to allow them to take that away from me and have me do something that I have not done for 4 to 5 years. I'm going to cry. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to speak my truth with what I can, but I am not going to. And hopefully my friend will. Oh, you got to go?
I really have to go. Like they are
Okay.
screaming for me. I don't know if something's wrong. I don't know,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm
Go,
so
go, go, go,
sorry.
go.
I have to go,
Thank
guys.
you, Hershe.
I love you guys. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry, hon. We've been on for over an hour.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye, honey. Okay. So, yeah, Dean, Hershey's mom has had surgery, or godmom or mom had surgery this week. So she's there to take care of her. So, yeah, it's just Sylvia. I'm not Sylvia, Bella. No, who was in here? Dina. It was just so interesting that conversation that we had last night and then what happened today. I really think having that conversation with you, Sylvia, and Zelita was able to kind of, you know, help me. It was almost kind of like a sign, like a bit of a, I don't want to say a cushion, but it was just like, okay, yes, we were just talking about being in our power, in our truth, and it was something good because I could pull on that. I can draw from that. So let's see, early ritual. Heather, you need to do more cemetery walks. Oh, I didn't know you were there. Yeah, I had time in between two appointments, and I just wish I could have stayed longer because but my battery, was dying on my phone. But yeah, I could not believe that that woman with that incredible. So people who don't know what I'm talking about, last Thursday I had a 2.5 hour gap between one appointment and the other, and I didn't want to drive all the way back into town and then have to drive back into the city. So I wasn't far from the historical Oakwood Cemetery here in Niagara Falls, and a famous person who's buried there is a woman who, yes, Fatima, you were there. Well, not there, but you saw it. So she was actually, because she had gotten brought up during one of my lives, that she was a woman who went over the falls in a barrel and survived. And people are like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, she's not. I know where." So I decided it was a beautiful day. The weather was nice that day, so I drove there, and I actually found her tombstone, and I could not believe how small it was. And I'm thinking about maybe going to the main office and petitioning if somebody can do something more decorative or something for her. But her name was Annie. I can't think of her last name right now. But Annie was 63 years old. 63. And this is turn of the century. So this is still, I think when she did it, it was still at a time when women didn't even have the right to vote. I don't have the cemetery map with me with her information on it. I kid you not. Annie's tombstone had to have been about this tall. She was 63 years old. She built the tube herself. She put herself into it, went over, survived, and died penniless and in the Niagara Falls Sanitarium. But what an incredible legacy. She deserved better. Taylor. Oh, earlier, thank you, Annie Edison Taylor. So Annie deserves a better remembrance than this. That cemetery really should put something special for her. Even if it's not at there, maybe have a statue or something. She deserves to have that. 63 years old, at a time when women were allowed to vote. She built her own boat. Her own barrel. She went over. She survived miraculously. And I mean, it doesn't matter what age you are, folks. And somebody I haven't seen in a while, Willow, conversations with Willow. If anybody, knows if she's, anything, I haven't seen her in any chats in a long time. She was 83 and she started, her own business, started another business. And so it just proves that age has nothing to do with what you can or cannot do. And so with that, I was thinking about maybe doing a collective read for everybody. Hershe and I were going to do that. So here, these cards are because I've got my room turned upside down from spraying and everything. So thank you everybody for being here. At 63 at the turn of the century, that was a long life. Yes, exactly, Miss Tarot D. To even be still alive and be able to physically be able to do that. Most definitely. So yeah, there's a couple of that. The cemetery itself is beautiful. Over the years when the weather has been nice, I would go there and do plein air drawing of the trees, the colors and the shapes and everything. So and All Souls, and we just finished our All Souls. So I'm just going to ask for 3 cards to send us all off. And thank you everybody again for your support, and just send positive energy, kind of like protective healing energy, around Shan and I in the apartment, so that these people, you know, this too shall pass, right? Just like Dina and I were talking about last night. It's sometimes it's hard to walk our walk. This is a point where it shows that sometimes we get pushed to our extremes, and but it's okay to have those emotions, you know. Thank you, Jessery. So okay, now And if people have, I know if a lot of you have heard, but this past week, I think this happened last weekend. Um, Ron Unconditional Love and Jay were doing a show, and during the live, you could clearly hear a woman's voice or a person's voice say, "Trust." And they've been playing it back, and we've been hearing it. I don't know if everybody's heard that. The Chess Queen, trust, and strategizing. So for me, I feel like this is a message, you know. And to honor All Souls Day, I have a picture here. This is my grandma Johnson. Her name was Eleanor Josephine. And I always loved this picture as a little girl. That was my favorite picture to look at. And so one of my cousins had it and she sent it to me. So that stays right up here for me now when I read. Next cards. I always do threes. The winged wise ones. Angelic help. Miraculous aid. So these cards are not only for me, but they're for all of us because I know a lot of us have battles and things going on that a lot of us don't know about. We all are carrying something. And the last card is another angelic help. I got the Eagle King, the big picture. So getting perspective, seeing that there's a bigger picture here of what's going on. So I think that's beautiful cards, not just for me, but for everybody. Thank you, Fatima. Yeah, my grandma, she I was told she loved her curves as she got older. She never remarried after my grandpa. She spent the rest of her life, single, but I've got a picture somewhere of her on my dad's motorcycle. So yeah, she was very cool. So great messages for all of us going in at the end of the week and going into the weekend. Trust, strategizing, knowing that in many ways we do have angelic help when they can't, like Hershey said, when they are allowed to help us. There are moments when they can. Like we say, we have to let us figure things out, but miraculous aid and the big picture and more angelic help, the Eagle King. And the eagle represents great spirit in a lot of Native American cultures. So again, thank you everybody. Allyson, I hope you're feeling better. You might have fallen asleep. I hope you're feeling better in the morning. And Hershey, sending you lots of love to you and mom and everybody here. Thank you for joining us tonight and for your yes, I love the Eagle King too. And thank you for your for helping me through this and letting me be able to release and hopefully my sleep will be a little bit will be okay tonight. And so everybody have a good rest of your night. Have a great weekend. I do have a couple of things coming up tomorrow night, I believe. Right now my calendar is hidden, but I will be making the thumbnail. Jeff from Tarot Ask Backwards will be joining me tomorrow night. I believe it's around 7 or 8 o'clock. We will be doing some more. We'll be doing a little bit of tarot, but we'll be talking about doing our poetry. And then on Saturday or Sunday, I believe too, I will be a guest on Deborah Zakow's channel, the one who created the Clarity Tarot. So I'll be, doing that this weekend. And sleep tight until, oh, Stephen, really. Yes. Everybody have a good night and a good weekend, and we'll see you on the next live. Bye.